Hi everyone, welcome to Rachel Pichler Yoga. If we haven't met before, my name is Rachel. Today we're doing a nice full body flow for flexibility, so find just a little bit of space to move and let's get started. So let's begin today in a nice comfy seat, and I want you to bring your hands to the floor just beside you. So feel free to close your eyes, lightly push your fingertips into the floor so you can lengthen through your spine. Soften your shoulders, take a nice big breath in and out. Do that again, nice deep inhale and let it go. One more full breath in and out. Awesome, you guys. This time as you inhale, start to reach your right arm out to the side. Spread your fingertips. Lean over as much as you'd like to lean over for a big side stretch. Feel all the way from that right hip to the fingertips. Using a big inhale as you find your way back up through center. Place your hands on the floor. Lightly push into your fingertips. Nice long spine. As you inhale, reach your left arm out. Spread the fingertips. Lean over as much as you'd like. Awesome, you guys. Using a nice big inhale to come back up through center. Place your hands on the floor one last time. Take a big breath in and out. Awesome. You can slowly start to open up your eyes and move your hands to the floor in front of you. Let's come into tabletop. So spreading your fingers nice and wide, bringing your wrists underneath your shoulders. Tuck your toes. Take a big inhale. As you exhale, lift up into downward facing dog. Maybe pedal your feet. Maybe bend your knees, but let your chest get heavy. Let your head get heavy so that you can get into your shoulders. Maybe that means you need to lift your heels and bend your knees more. Maybe that means you need to kind of rock side to side a little bit with the shoulders and the hips. But just take one more big breath in and out. And then use an inhale as you look forwards. Exhale to walk your feet all the way up to the top of your mat. Take an inhale, lift halfway, lengthen your spine. As you exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, find your way all the way up to standing. Reach up, maybe looking up. As you exhale, lower your hands in front of your heart, down to your sides. You have the option here to cross your left foot in front of the right or just keep your feet side by side, but we're gonna add a side stretch. So arms to your sides, maybe placing your right hand on your hip. With an inhale, reach your left arm out to the side, all the way up. Lean on over. Push into your feet, maybe even lift your toes. And if your legs are crossed, just give those inner legs a little bit of a squeeze. Spread your fingertips. Awesome, you guys. Use a big inhale to come back up. Let your arms just fall down to your sides. If you're crossing your legs, uncross them. Cross them the other way. Give those inner legs a little bit of a squeeze. Maybe the left hand finds the hip. Big inhale, reach your right arm up, over, side stretch. Push into those feet, maybe lift the toes. Nice job, you guys. Big inhale. Lift yourself back up. Let your arms fall to your sides. If your legs are crossed, uncross them. Take a shoulder roll if you want one. Big inhale as you reach your arms up. Exhale to fold forwards. Inhale for your half lift. Exhale, fold. Plant your hands. Take your left foot back into a lunge. Lower your knee down. Untuck your back toes. Maybe roll your mat over for some extra cushion. We're going to lift our upper body, resting our hands on our knee to start. Sink into those hips. Find that nice hip flexor stretch for that left side. And then a side stretch. So that left arm can come to your side, maybe placing your right hand on your knee or the right hip. With an inhale, reach your left arm out to the side, up above you, and over towards the right. Keep letting the hips sink down and forwards. Awesome, you guys. If your right hand wants to reach for your back leg, maybe the outside of that back leg. Use an inhale as you find your way back through center. And just let your hands fall towards the floor on either side of your front foot. Take an inhale as you gaze forwards, tuck your back toes, and exhale. Bring your back foot to the top of your mat. Inhale for a half lift. Nice long spine. Exhale as you fold, planting your hands. Take your right foot back into your lunge. Lower your knee, untuck your toes, maybe roll your mat over. Start to lift up through the chest, sinking into those hips. Maybe the left hand is on your hip, maybe it's on your knee, but reach your right arm out wide, up above you. Lean over slightly, side stretch. Keep your left hand where it is, or maybe try to find your back leg. Beautiful, you guys. Use an inhale to come back through center. As you exhale, bring your hands down to your mat. Take an inhale as you look forwards and tuck your back toes, and exhale. Step your back foot to the top of your mat. Inhale for your half lift. Exhale as you fold, planting your hands, stepping all the way back, downward facing dog. Breathe. Awesome, you guys. You can walk your feet out wide here. Turn your toes in slightly. Send your heels out slightly. Push into your palms. Send those hips nice and high. Maybe try to lift your toes off of the mat. Send your heels down a little more. How does that make your calves feel? Nice job, you guys. Take another inhale. As you exhale, start to bend your knees. Bring them all the way down to your mat, on the edges of your mat. So if you brought your feet out nice and wide, they're still out nice and wide. Untuck your toes, rest on the top of your feet. Start to send your hips back towards your heels. Send those hips back. Feel the love through those hips. Might feel really intense on those hips because our knees are wide. Our feet are wide. And then you're just going to lift your hips again so that you can move your big toes together and then send your hips back towards your heels again. Let your forehead come down. Soften your shoulders. Slow down your breath. Taking a nice big inhale and exhale. And just lifting your forehead enough so that you can look forwards at your hands. Walking your hands over towards the left side, probably off of your mat. Reach, walk your fingertips away as you create length to that right arm especially. And melt your forehead down again, side stretch. Awesome, you guys. Looking forwards at your fingertips. Walking your hands back to the middle of your mat and then all the way over to the right side. Creating as much length through that left arm as you can, that left side body. Rest your forehead as best you can. And slowly lifting, gazing forwards at your hands, walking them back to the middle of your mat. Send your hips back towards your heels. And then lift your hips. Bringing your knees in, crossing your ankles, and having a seat. So, once you're sitting down, let's send our right leg out long into half a straddle. Bend your left leg in front of you so you feel balanced. You can point your toes up towards the ceiling if you'd like. And then maybe just a little rock side to side, kind of feel out that inner leg. Find your center, so if you need to adjust your left leg, or maybe even send your right leg out a little bit wider, you can make that adjustment. We are going to be adding a side stretch to this. Theme of the day is side stretches. So good. So if you want to keep tipping forwards, just in center, at center, you can stay here. But if you do want to add a side stretch, bring your right hand in front of your knee. Start to turn your chest towards the left just a bit. And then maybe you're going to walk your hands down towards your foot, or maybe halfway there. But keep turning the chest to the left side a little. Keep the chest open. And then let's add our left arm in. So you're going to get the side stretch as you start to reach that left arm up. Maybe look up. Maybe sweeping your arm above the head. And maybe your arm can be in line with that right leg. Side stretch. Awesome work, you guys. Use a nice big inhale to lift your upper body all the way back up. Bringing your right leg where the left one is, bend it in. Send your left leg out. Adjust. Point your toes up. Take a little tip forwards, a little shoulder roll. Find that nice inner leg. Stretch. And then if you want to go for that side stretch, sit nice and tall, turning your chest towards the right just slightly. Bringing your left hand in front of your knee or walking it down towards your foot. You can start to reach your right arm up at any time. Maybe look up to help keep the chest open. Maybe sweeping your arm above the head. Trying to get your right arm in line with that left leg. Nice job, you guys. Use a big inhale to find your way back up. Bringing your left leg in, soles of your feet together, knees out wide, butterfly. Take an inhale as you lengthen. Exhale to tip forwards, getting into those hips. Awesome, you guys. Using an inhale as you lift back up. Bring your hands to the outside of your knees. Help them come back together. Give yourself a little hug. Rock it out. And then we can lay down on our backs. Keeping your knees bent and your feet planted. Walking your feet a little closer towards your hips, maybe lifting the heels so you can connect your low back and add some rock side to side. And if your heels are lifted, you can drop them down. Start to heel toe your feet out nice and wide to the edges of your mat maybe. And maybe you can turn your toes in slightly and your heels out slightly. Letting your knees fall to the middle towards one another. Feeling a nice rotation of those hips. And if your knees are falling together right now, slowly open them up. Nice and wide. You can move your feet so that your feet are just pointing straight forwards. Your knees can open up. You can start to lift the feet. Pull your knees towards your chest, but keep them wide. Let your feet stay heavy. Let your low back stay connected to your mat. Not quite happy baby, but halfway there. Knees out wide, feet are just floating. And you can stay here, or you can start to lift your feet higher, maybe grab onto your feet for happy baby. Keeping your low back connected. Awesome, you guys. If you've got your feet, let them go. Find your knees again. Keep your knees out wide though. Let your feet find the edges of your mat as well. Let your knees fall towards one another one more time. Maybe pivot your feet slightly so that your toes are pointing in, your heels are pointing out. Awesome work, you guys. Letting your knees open up and letting your feet heel toe together. You can keep your feet planted or pull your knees back towards your chest for one more nice big hug and maybe a couple rocks side to side. Eventually letting your feet find the floor again and making your way into Shavasana, whatever that is going to look like for you today. As always, I encourage you to stay here for as long as you have time for today. Thank you so much for joining me. Enjoy the rest of your week, the rest of your day, and until next time, namaste.